So I never really do impression videos like this. Normally I just do like my reaction live and then I do an analysis and stuff. But as I've been sitting here working on this analysis, literally 17 minutes in and not even halfway done with the video, there is just so much that I've noticed that I love about this game. I mean, seriously, there's so much charm and vibes to it. And I just had to kind of give my impressions on what we watched today because I think this game is phenomenal. Like, not just good, not just great, but phenomenal. This is not only going to be the best 2D Mario game we've ever gotten, but it's going to be one of the most ambitious ones Nintendo has ever made. Like, this game has so much love and joy put into it, and there's so many great things that I want to point out. I just decided, you know what, we're going to make a separate video just about my impressions of this game. But let me kind of just try to break it down based on different segments and kind of what I thought about it, based on kind of how Nintendo broke it down as well. But the first thing, the story. I think the story is awesome. It needs to be just short and sweet. That's how 2D Mario games are. And yes, Bowser, comes to the Flower Kingdom after Mario and friends were invited by Prince Florian, and then Bowser causes havoc. He tries to get that Wonder Flower, and it actually transforms him and Florian's castle into one entity, which is crazy, and that's actually Bowser. Bowser is this floating airship castle, which is super cool, and he's like flying around the Flower Kingdom, just corrupting things, turning the residents' homes into prisons, and it's just like, that is such a cool concept that Bowser is actually this giant mechanical machine now. Like, it's not just Bowser. And this is so crazy because it makes me wonder if we're actually going to fight him as this machine. What if Mario actually transforms into a castle himself? Like, that would be so cool, like a giant mecha fight where Mario transforms into one of Florian's other castles in the kingdom and stuff. There's so many cool things they could do with that. I'm so glad it's not just Bowser, which is awesome. But let's dive into the actual world. The world itself is phenomenal as well. I love the world map. It just feels different. It has a different vibe. It still has your things that you would expect with, grasslands and the beach and lava areas and the Rocky Mountains, but they have different vibes to them. Very similar to what Mario Odyssey actually did with its worlds, adding unique things to them to make them stand out. And I love them. They're so beautiful. They're so vibrant. The colors and the designs in the background really just causes people to lose their mind if they have OCD like me, where I'm just looking at everything and I can't stop and I don't know where to focus on. There's just so much stuff going on. And one of the things I love so much, it seems like there are levels that just because it's in the snow world doesn't mean that every level is going to look the same. It's not going to just all be, oh, you're in a snow cave or you're in the snow outside. Like, there's just things that just look so different, but you can tell they're from a specific world. They're just so vastly different. There's like a cave area where half of the world is in this cave, and then some levels are above ground, some levels are in the swamp area, some levels are underground in a lava area, and they're all part of the same world. You can see it from the world map, which is just so interesting. And I love how the levels kind of flow into each other instead of just being, here's these 5 levels and they're all segmented within this world only and they all look the same. They're kind of flowing into each other, flowing from world to world. You can actually see some beach levels flow into the next world after leaving the beach world, but it's just like, it's so good. I love that so much. And there's just so much design on some of these worlds. There's even like a food world where you can see like donut-shaped clouds and like whipped cream and frosting-tipped trees and grass all over the foreground and background. It's just so much detail. I love it. There's one area that's like a Zen castle garden in the sky, and it is one of the prettiest looking stages. It's one of those stages that looks like one of the mods that were made for New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It just doesn't even look real. Like, how in the world was this actually a real thing that Nintendo made? It is beautiful. I love the golden pipes. I love just the way it looks. It gives me Mario Odyssey vibes with the Bowser's Kingdom. It's beautiful, dude. There's so much love and care and crafting into this game, and it doesn't feel like anything that we've seen before. You can see the vines kind of grow around the pipes of some stages. You can see the giant piranha plant vines move and shimmer in the background. It kind of gives you a creepy, crawly vibe. It's just everything about that is so great. But let's move on to the characters. The characters are really cool. I like that there's an addition of Toadette, and you also have Yoshi's and Nabbit. Even though they're easy mode characters, you know, I know a lot of people are going to be turned off by that fact, but you still have a lot of characters to choose from, and I'm wondering if they're going to keep adding more, especially since Nintendo said that they all play the same. But I guess I also want to kind of add in the mechanics as well, because this game has mechanics of kind of the past Mario games also, with like Mario World. We see a scene where Daisy grabs a shell and kicks it up in the air, and then Mario kicks like a pitcher of water down into this fire block. It's really cool. Like, you can grab items and just chuck them around like you could in Mario World. I love that. But yeah, I really don't have a problem with the characters. I think they're fine. I would like to see more eventually, since they all have the same moveset, but that also leads into the enemy character designs, which are just flawless. I mean, there's so many returning enemies, but there's so many, and I mean, so many new enemies, even ones that they didn't even talk about. Like, I'm going through this analysis just finding like hordes of new enemies. There's like over 40 new enemies that I've seen so far. I'm just like, it just keeps coming, and they're all super unique. There's really unique ways to take them down too. You can pull handles in order to unravel them, and, you know, find different ways to take them down instead of always just jumping on their heads. And they're just so uniquely made. They're so wacky and weird and fun. It just screams wacky Mario, and I love that style of Mario. Now, we didn't see any boss battles yet, which kind of made me upset. I love the expressions on the enemies and the different ways to take them down, so I was hoping we would see some really cool expression-based bosses and also cool ways to take them down, like pulling handles and stuff as well. But no, we didn't see anything like that. But as far as items and abilities, woo! These are wacky. Everybody can turn into an elephant, but there's also 2 new ones, including this bubble flower and also, I believe, a drill, which is super wacky. Reminds me of Mario Galaxy 2, being able to drill underground and stuff. Elephant Mario's cool. He's just like a big tank that can run through most blocks. He can also, you know, spit out water out of his trunk. Not the way I was hoping. I was expecting more Ellie from Donkey Kong Country, more shooting like a bullet, but it just kind of splashes some water out in front of it. I'm so sorry right now, Internet, for what they're going to do with Elephant Daisy and Elephant Peach, because I already know they're going to lose their minds with those additions. But Bubble Mario looks pretty cool. Like, they just kind of shoot out this bubble where you can bounce off of it like a platform and stuff. And I can see some speedruns being absolutely insane with this thing. But you also have the Drill Mario, which once again, it's just like Mario Galaxy 2 in 2D. It's awesome. It's just something that was already fun in the 3D space, and in 2D, it's just going to keep being even more wacky. Ooh, being able to drill through the ceiling is also really cool. Once again, my mind just goes to Mario Maker on this stuff and thinking of some of the levels that people can create just with some of these things. Like, it's crazy. Also love the little animations they do when they get power-ups now. Even the fire flower, something as simple as the fire flower, there's like a little animation and scene where the fire flower balls will kind of fly around you in like this cool pattern and stuff. I don't know, stuff like that just made me so happy to see. It's really awesome. The Wonder Flower stuff, just crazy. The Wonder events are going to be the craziest things that we've ever seen. There was one where Luigi was running on the back wall of a stage. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is just so crazy. I thought that was one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. There's one where like Elephant Peach was floating in space. Mario turned into a Goomba, all Mario Odyssey style, which was awesome. He has so much expression too as things are about to eat him. I mean, this stuff is just, I can't even imagine how much further they're going to keep going with some of these things. I'm like, really, the sky's the limit with the Wonder Flower stuff, man. I mean, they can come up with the wackiest ideas ever, and it doesn't need to make sense, because it's just, that's the point of this game. Mario Wonder is just wacky. You also have badges in this game, which works like perks, where you can equip one at a time before going into a level. And I'm never really big on badges or equipping perks in games. I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of gimmicky. But I actually really like this. You know, there's not too many on the list. And I like how they have like level missions dedicated for these things where you can learn how to use them and then take them into the real world and actually practice them in the game. Not actually like in the real world. You can't just, you know, jump out of your seat and start doing these things. But one of the coolest things, like you can do the dolphin kick underwater, which helps you swim a lot better. Like you got the frog suit from Mario Brothers 3, which I'm going to be equipping that every freaking water stage. But there's things like you'll jump higher and stuff. And some of these look like they're made to be equipped for specific collectibles in each stage, making you have to go back and replay some of these levels with that specific thing equipped, which I actually like. It is going to make me want to go back and replay them and be like, okay, let me try this level again, but with this badge equipped. I really do like that. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it works really well with this game. Dude, the invisible badge is going to be nuts, because it makes you invisible to not only enemies, but to you yourself. Like, there's no outline or anything. You can't see your character at all, which is going to make, like, I'm sure people are going to do invisibility runs. It's going to be crazy to see people try that. Or like the jet run, which makes you run faster and even run in the air a little bit. for speedruns is going to be crazy as well. There's going to be so many things that people are able to do with these things and just make content off of, which really just adds to the excitement of a 2D Mario game. But unfortunately, there is a bit of a negative. Not for me personally, but I feel like for a lot of people, they're going to be upset about this because they were really hoping there was going to be some dedicated online play. Now, there is co-op, of course, and I like how like each enemy or character that dies, you can actually turn into a ghost, and you actually have to touch the ghost before, you know, the timer runs out, or you won't be able to save them. They'll lose their life, which is really cool. I like the ghost thing. I actually kind of like it better than the bubble because at least you can control it this time around instead of just slamming the buttons in the bubble trying to, you know, fly near a near player. But yeah, online is so they got this ghost functionality where you can turn the satellite dish on and you can see all the ghost players. And I don't know how I really feel about that. I mean, yeah, they're all like, you can see them playing live and you can even like give each other items if you're near each other or kind of, you know, communicate with each other in a certain way. If you die, you can also have one of them grab you if they're playing on this online mode, which is not that interesting to me. I don't really care. You know, I just was kind of hoping that there was a way that you could actually play with each other through certain levels, but that doesn't seem to be the case, which I know some people are going to be upset about. Personally, it's not a big deal breaker for me, but yeah, I just said that they couldn't get like proper online play. They have like standees too, where you can place down. That way if someone dies on a difficult part where you think it's difficult, they can touch your standee or vice versa in order to be revived. And you can actually pay for these, which I'm like, I don't care, you know, personally about that stuff. You can collect them, which is cool. There's a whole bunch of different ones you can collect, but I'm just not a big fan of that. I just thought it was kind of corny. But yeah, it just seems like more gimmicky stuff to do online, and there's no actual playing with people online. Now, you can create a room online, and you can have like a whole bunch of people jump into a world or to a level with you, and you can even start like your own race. You can host a race by hitting this block and having everybody else hit the block and start at a specific spot, which is a lot cooler than at least just having random people walk around giving you items. At least you can actually compete against people like this. That is cool. I do like that. But it's just still not the same as actually having players there interacting with the world that you're interacting with as well. But it just kind of gave me that Mario Kart Ghost Races vibe. And you know what? I can see a lot of people still being upset there's not proper online. There were some scenes though it looked very laggy still, and it's not even proper like online co-op. So yeah, that's probably the reason, is because Nintendo still has very bad online connectivity. And that's probably also the reason why they didn't want to include it in this game. So I can't really blame them until this next console and the servers get better. But, you know, it is what it is. But Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks fantastic. I mean, it's truly fantastic. I mean, it is looking like almost a 10 out of 10 game right now. There's so much jam-packed into this game. I can't wait to actually get my hands on this. I have never been this excited about a 2D game in my life, let alone a 2D Mario game. Dude, this is just, oh, this is everything I could have asked for, truly. I wish we could have seen more boss battles to see how they work with this game. They still didn't show any besides that same Bowser Jr. one. Yes, you guys are getting a Mario Red Switch OLED version, which is just red, and they slapped Mario on it. There's some cool designs on the back too, and like the coins hidden underneath the flap. But yeah, I was just so excited to see Mario Wonder again, and just this gave me so much more information. This is all I need until the game comes out, honestly. But let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Mario Wonder. I truly think this is the next evolution of 2D Mario and the best direction they possibly could have gone in. But let me know what you think down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and if you are excited about this upcoming analysis that I'm working on, because man, it is going to be a huge one. But thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.